So today I want to show you how to set up a withdrawal from your M1 Finance for retirement. Now, if you're somebody at that stage where you can start withdrawing your money through your like Roth or your IRA or even just a regular account, and you want to just have money coming in on a regular basis into your typical account, I'm going to show you how to do this. Now, we're going to be here on the desktop, but on mobile, I'll kind of give you a nice breakdown on how to do this as well. Now, we're currently in a market that's really down. That's why you see a lot of negatives. But what we're going to actually want to do is go over to where you see your transfers on the right-hand side, or if you're on mobile, there's going to be a thing that says deposit. You can actually click on that too. And so if we click over here, it's going to take us to a page that might look like this. If you click on deposits, it'll kind of take you one step further faster, and then we'll be able to change some things out. So if you have just the regular M1 and not the M1 Plus, what we're going to want to choose is the recurring transfers. You could do smart transfers if you have M1 Plus, but effectively this will do about the same thing for you. So we're going to click on recurring transfers, and the first thing we're going to want to do is click on from. So this is going to be the account that the money's getting pulled out of, which will be our investing account. You can see the dividend dentist here. And then it's going to ask you which account you want it to go into. Now, if you have an external account where you use your banking on a regular basis, like I do over here, you can click on the external account. Or if you have M1 Spend and you actually want to use the money through M1 Spend and their debit card, you can have the money go there and effectively do the same thing. So we'll click there, and then you can enter the amount that you would want, and then at the bottom here, there's going to be a schedule. So let's go ahead and say that you're going to want about $1,000 on a weekly basis. So we're going to choose weekly over here for the frequency, and you could even choose the day of the week. So you can go from Monday through Friday. So we're going to go ahead and say on Tuesday, so the money maybe pops up by like Thursday, and we have it available for like the weekends or whatever amount, you know. So if everything here looks good, then you can click on the continue button right over here. And what I'm going to actually do too is share with you how this is going to actually work for you and how it's going to function with M1 Finance. All right, so now how this is going to actually work for your account, because I know some people might have questions about this, is the first thing it's going to do is it's going to pull any money that you have in your buying power / current cash balance. Now, for somebody who's getting closer and closer to retirement, you might be having holdings that actually pay out really healthy dividends that will be put into this account, which means you probably want auto invest shut off, so that way that money sits in your cash balance if that's how you kind of want to go about this. So that way that money will be the first thing to get pulled. Now, let's say you have that $1,000 weekly pool. So let's just go ahead and say you have a $1,000 weekly pool. And let's say we have, for that week, we have $700 in the cash balance. So what it's going to need to do is sell off $300 worth of shares in your account. So the way they're going to work this out is it's going to look at your actual and your target percentages that you have set for your portfolio. And what it's going to do is if you have individual pies like I do or individual stocks, this will all work the same. And it'll look and say, okay, well, the actual here is 27% and your target was 25. So this will be the first pie that it goes into to sell any stocks to hit that number and bring it down enough to get to that $300 extra it needs, as well as keeping everything within a percentage. Now from here, since this is that one pie that it will go into, you can see the actuals and then the targets for all of these, and whichever ones are above their target are the ones that they're going to sell enough of to bring that number as close to its target, and then have the rest just sitting in the account, so that way it can withdraw just what it needs for that given week. And obviously we're still far away from retirement on this portfolio, so these numbers are much lower and we're in a down market, so that's obviously a little bit different. But you know, in 13, 14, 20 years, whatever amount of time frame you have, ideally you should be in much more of a green with a lot of the shares that you have in the companies that you own. And so selling off a little bit at a time won't have as big of an impact on you, because you're going to have so much more value and growth over that given time period. And again, if you have dividends, those dividends can be going into the cash balance, which will then help withdraw that money instead of withdrawing the money from the actual shares. But over time, you're just selling a little bit pieces of these companies as time goes on. And the great thing is, if you are pulling out just a little bit every single week, that doesn't take away from the growth of the portfolio. There's a really good chance that having it set up that way, you can actually still have your portfolio continue to grow while you're pulling out money either on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis for yourself. Now, if you got value out of this video here today and helping you make sure you set up your retirement account with M1 Finance, there is a thank you button underneath this video that you can go ahead and send over to help support the channel out, so we can continue to provide more free content just like this for you and everybody else. And what I'll also do too is have a video right over here on screen that you can click on, so you can keep on watching and learning My name is Dennis, and I want to help you in that next video.